A typical backyard in Joburg, South Africa is the location for this study of nature and of man, an examination of lifestyle and habitat. The acacia tree in my backyard, the thorn in my side, the leaves in my pool, the cracks in the foundation of my house, and a home to the weaver bird. Weaver birds weave the most elaborate nests of any birds. Materials used for the building of nests include leaf fibers, grass and twigs. The male birds weave the nests and use them as a form of display to lure the females. The weaver bird usually nests close to water. After many discussions with friends and family, I decided to get the tree trimmed instead of totally removed. Although the company that trimmed the tree relocated the birds and their nests, all 7 chicks were dead by the end of the week. That was 2 years ago, and since then the tree has regrown. The weaver has built thousands of nests, and dozens of chicks have successfully been raised. On hot, high-felt afternoons, summer showers are common, but even more terrifying than the thunderstorms are the huntsman spiders, known locally as rain spiders, because they have a habit of making themselves at home on rainy days. The large and fearsome appearance of the rain spider gives it a frightening resemblance to the tarantula. They are not deadly to humans, but will bite if they feel threatened. They also tend to exhibit a clinging reflex if picked up, making them difficult to shake off and much more likely to bite. Their legs are covered with spikes, while the rest is smooth. They are usually found in garages, sheds, huts, and behind bedroom doors. The eyesight of these spiders is quite sufficient to detect approaching humans or other large animals from some distance. As adults, rain spiders do not build webs, but forage and hunt for food. Their diet consists primarily of insects and other invertebrates. They are able to travel extremely fast and walk on walls and even on ceilings. Females are fierce defenders of their egg sacs and young. They will first threaten if provoked, but if the warning is ignored, they may attack and bite. Rain spiders are not regarded as dangerous and actually feed on insects. There is another way to remove a rain spider from your house. Invite a wasp or 2 around. The wasp will sting the spider just enough to put the spider into a coma, then drag it outside, lay its eggs in it, then bury it alive. Eventually, the eggs will hatch, and the baby wasp worms will eat the spider from the inside out. Wasps are critically important in natural biocontrol. Almost every pest insect species has a wasp species that is a predator or parasite upon it. Parasitic wasps are also increasingly used in agricultural pest control as they have little impact on crops. Wasps also constitute an important part of the food chain. Wasps store sperm inside their body and control its release for each individual egg as it is laid. If the female wishes to produce a male egg, she simply lays the egg without fertilizing it. Therefore, under most conditions in most species, wasps have complete voluntary control over the sex of their offspring. Rain spider vs. Park town prawn, aka harvest cricket. Who will win? The rain spider's venom sends the prawn into a coma. The prawn becomes a meal that will take the spider several hours to eat. Although we may see the rain spider as an invading creature, it is us who are invaders. Maybe the rain spider wakes at night in a cold sweat after a nightmare involving a human that brushed past its hairy leg. Let's change the subject. Forget the nightmare images of spiders and turn our attention to a more lovable creature, the goldfish. Originally, there were 2 happy goldfish in my pond. They had 30 babies. Now the pond is crowded, but mother fish is still the king of the pond. The goldfish is one of the most common kept fish, first domesticated in China and later introduced to Europe. The oldest recorded goldfish lived for 49 years, but usually they live between 6 to 8 years. Keeping goldfish in a dark room will cause its scales to turn white. Goldfish are social animals who prefer living in groups. Hierarchy during feeding is commonly observed, in which the larger goldfish receives most of the food. Goldfish are curious and will bore without other fish or objects to interact with. Research on goldfish has shown they have a memory span of at least 3 months and can distinguish between different shapes, colors, and sounds. Studies have shown that goldfish have strong learning abilities as well as social learning skills. Rome has passed a law in 2005 which banned the use of goldfish as carnival prizes and banned the keeping of goldfish in goldfish bowls, as it is cruel for a fish to live in such a small, confined space. The lorry bird is a common sight in Joburg Gardens. Man and beast can live in harmony. The balance between man and his environment can mean the difference between his survival and extinction. Time is running out for man to save the world as we know it, and global survival means coexistence with all other life on the planet. The real king of the concrete jungle is the domestic cat. The cat has been valued by humans as a vermin hunter and companion for over 9,500 years. This ability to get on with humans has guaranteed its existence as a species for now. Cats have free-floating clavicle bones, which allows them to pass their body through any space into which they can fit their head. Cats are predators and hunt over 1,000 species for food. Specialized teeth, directional ear movements, super senses, extreme patience make for a fierce opponent. And the fact that the domestic cat usually hunts things half their size. The sound of these birds is a mixture of a witch's cackle and a prehistoric beast. The hardy-dar lives in grassland, bushveld and large gardens. It eats mainly earthworms but will also eat insects, spiders and small reptiles. Hardy-dars move around in flocks, numbering up to 20 birds. These birds are getting friendlier with humans as the humans invade their habitat. When we start to live in harmony, not just with the obvious animals of the earth, but with the stranger creatures and even the microscopic, that we will finally start to comprehend our own nature.